Hello, good evening, everyone. Good afternoon and good morning, depending where you are. So again, here we are on Tuesday, 20th of May. We have been reporting to you directly on a daily basis on what's happening in the Sahel states and particularly in Burkina Faso. And on May 17 or May 18, we all know that the monument or mausoleum of Thomas Sankara have been inaugurated in Burkina Faso, in Ouagadougou, where neighboring countries' officials, government officials, and Pan-Africanists globally have attended that event there, and people like the Prime Minister of Sonko, and from Chad as well, and global Pan-Africanists, and from government officials from Ghana and global Pan-Africanists. Now, this one footage that I'm going to show you particularly shows us Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the president of Burkina Faso, welcoming these Pan-Africanists from the continent and abroad. We will speak on that, and we are going to also invite Dr. Benjamin Anyagre from Ghana, who is a Pan-Africanist and who has taken part in that, in that meeting with other Pan-Africanists. Let's just share this video with you. Here is Captain Ibrahim Traoré welcoming the Pan-Africanist groups.
Nous sommes venus ce matin dire merci au président du Faso et l'encourager. Donc, deux objectifs pour cette rencontre. Lui dire merci pourquoi? Parce que d'une part, il a réhabilité un citoyen africain nommé Thomas Sankara, qui a été président de ce pays, pour lequel il a donné un coup d'accélérateur au mémorial en lançant déjà la réalisation du mausolée. Ce mausolée a été inauguré et nous sommes venus lui dire merci parce que nous avons été conviés et d'Afrique du Sud et du Ghana et d'Europe et du Congo, du Tchad, du Niger et du Mali et bien d'autres pays pour venir participer à cette inauguration. Nous lui avons dit merci aussi au nom des Africains qui ont beaucoup de respect et d'admiration pour le président Jerry Rawlings, le défunt président Jerry Rawlings, qui, par le biais du président du Faso, désormais donne son nom à une des rues de Ouagadougou, et la famille de Rawlings, ses enfants et tous ses amis étaient là.
So yeah, here there you see that it's in French, but you can also follow it with subtitles. Yeah, he's thanking the president, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, his government and his team for having that, erecting that monument, a well-deserved mausoleum for the great revolutionary and Pan-African leader, Thomas Sankara, and also, a number of other things he has listed. But now I would like to bring our guest here who has taken part in that in that meeting, and we will we will go in detail. He will give us an insightful information. Let me just bear with me for a second. All right, then. Okay. So here we are. So Dr. Benjamin Anyagre, he's from Ghana. He's a Pan-Africanist, and he has taken part in this historical meeting in Burkina Faso, meeting the president of Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, and also we learned that he has also taken part in kind of organizing this, pooling all these global Pan-Africanists to make it to Burkina Faso. Welcome, Dr. Anyagre.
Thank you very much, my sister.
It's always a pleasure to have you here and, to hear your opinion on anything that's happening in the continent and that impacts the continent as well, your Pan-African perspective. Now, let's start from the very beginning. First thing is first. What was the objective of the main objective of this meeting? I mean, it's not the first time Captain Ibrahim Traoré meeting or welcoming Pan-Africanists in Ouagadougou, but what was this one? Just dive us into it.
This historical meeting was in connection with the inauguration of the first phase of the museum for Commandante Thomas Sankara. And so it was an opportunity where all progressives, where Pan-Africanists who shared the same views and vision of the Pan-African dream converged. And then it was an opportunity for discussion, for us to brainstorm over certain issues bordering the continent now, still in neocolonialism, even nose diving into new slavery. And so we looked at all the circumstances, the dynamics, and then as an ideal opportunity for us to know ourselves, fraternize, and begin to share opinions and thoughts with regard to the way forward. And so it was a moment. Let me say it was like 1958 when Kwame Nkrumah invited Pan-Africanists to Accra for the conference, the All African People's Conference. It was something like that.
Okay.
And it was,
you know what?
so,
I really thank you for bringing that point, because right after the return, I mean, he had a busy day, it's like the man is working 24/7. I'm talking about President Captain Ibrahim Traoré. And right after his visit, he returned from Russia after attending that 8 years anniversary of Russia's victory over Nazism. In his interview, first of all, with Sputnik media there in Russia, he said he's sleeping, 2 hours or something, and he's working hard. He has now this burden of, no, he didn't call it a burden, but the lady was asking him, how does it feel like at the age of 37 now? The Africans are looking up to you. Does it feel like, at the age of 37, is it like a pressure on you? He said the age doesn't matter, but definitely it's a pressure, but it will make him, it motivates him to work hard and make sure, to bring that awakening to the African youth particularly. Now, let me come to one point. So after he returned in Burkina Faso, the first thing that we were told on the government media is that he is restoring back the Institute for Black People, IPN. This is the Institute de People Noir. It's the French acronym for it. Is this perhaps, was that a topic in your meeting, maybe, while Ouagadougou or Burkina Faso is restoring this institute, definitely it needs people in it. So was that a topic or part of the discussion somehow?
Oh, yes, my sister. Actually, you've made a point. He is a leader who is always in the front line. He's always in the battlefield, commanding and leading the troops, the soldiers in the field to defend the sovereign territory of Burkina Faso. And at large, I can say by extension, Africa, by action. He is somebody, when you see him, you can see that he's...
It's good. We hear you. Okay, we might lose him for a second, but I'm sure he will come back. Dr. Benjamin Anyagre. Let me just share this with you until we get him.
Nous sommes venus lui dire aussi merci pour la décoration offerte à plusieurs d'entre nous qui mènent ce combat sur le continent africain et ailleurs. Nous sommes venus surtout lui dire merci d'être le porte-flambeau.
So let me just say something. One of the other, one of the things that what you have to know here is the government. These Pan-Africanists are from South Africa, Ghana, Congo, Ivory Coast, Chad, Niger, Mali, Europe, United States. All these are, who attended this inauguration and this meeting with Captain Ibrahim Traoré. Now I think we have Dr. Benjamin Anyagre back. So let's continue. You were telling us the point of that Institute for Black people. Was that a topic somehow in your discussions? That was my question.
Yes, that topic came out strongly, and it was the idea of Captain Thomas Sankara, whom I always refer to as the Commandante Thomas Sankara. It was his idea. It coincided with the kind of movement that existed in South Africa called the Black Consciousness Movement, because it is an institute meant to decolonize the minds of Africans. And something that came out strongly was communication. If we do effective communication with respect to who we are, what happened during colonialism, neocolonialism, and where we are, then we'll begin to understand and know how to move forward. Because Africa is being polluted with a lot of misinformation and lies.
Exactly.
And so the president, I call him Commandante Ibrahim Traoré, was right on the point when he told us that, look, they use communication against us. That is a tool of the imperial forces. But we must also turn that same communication to tell our story and the truth to the world. And that is part of the liberation process. And like I said, he doesn't sit. He's somebody who spent all his time in the field, leading the troops, defending the territory of Burkina Faso. He comes to the office. I doubt whether he spends more than 50 minutes in the office. Even when we were there, somebody whispered to us that, look, he's going back to the battlefield. And that is leadership.
Yeah.
That is leadership by example, walking leadership. He's not the type of leaders that sit in the office, that sign documents that do not benefit the sovereignty of the state.
Yeah.
But he's in the field fighting to protect the territorial sovereignty of Burkina Faso. And that is what is important.
Yeah.
He's defending the land because the rich resources are there. And they want to take over the land to excavate all these things. And so so to him, he must protect the land and the resources of the land used to the benefit of the people.
I understand. Dr. Benjamin Anyagre. I understand this is really, as you said, I want to highlight what you said, leadership by example. This is as opposed to our bureaucratical governments whom they are not, in the office, neither they are in the field working, whether it's agriculture or education or military. They are just in a meeting, always bureaucracy, doing, achieving nothing at the end of the day. But him, we always see him, he's either in the battlefield, he's either or in agriculture, bringing the youth, encouraging them, or going and rewarding, young students. He's always in practical. I want to use, recently the new president of Botswana, he said, Duma Boko, he said, if I'm allowed to quote him, like my friend Captain Ibrahim Traoré, he said, what makes him different from us is he dreams something, he wake up, he announces it, and then the next day it becomes a policy. The next day that thing is already in action. That's what makes him apart from the rest of us. But for us, there's a lot of bureaucracy, bringing it to the parliament, for it to be approved, and maybe in the parliament some of us are paid, so we don't want to approve. Some of us are hired by neocolonialists not to achieve this guy. So that definitely, you hit on you really made the point interesting. But now let me ask you, you have definitely met with government officials and maybe also the ordinary people. So for us, we always talk about him, we see the video, but me, I can't even hide my excitement to talk to a person that really actually met and talked with Captain Ibrahim Traoré. So again, really congratulations on that. But what is the view of the people, the government officials? How are they, the people on the street? Please, walk us through that, John.
Yes, very interesting. The government officials are focused. They are very, very focused, and they are working and looking up to the leader. The way the leader is working, they are also working like that. Okay. They are very disciplined. They are people who are exhibiting knowledge and understanding. Like you talked about bureaucracy or bureaucratic system. The bureaucratic system is a feature of neocolonialism to slow us down. And that kind of system is a system adopted by puppets who are in government, puppets who are serving the interests of the imperial powers, puppets who want to excavate.
Incapable because just their cadres.
And so now, when you go, the atmosphere everywhere in Burkina Faso is, this is our leader, this is the reincarnated Thomas Sankara, and we are all behind him. They've all accepted that they are going to work for him, they are going to die for him. Many of them are ready to go to the field and wear the military uniform and fight to protect the ideals and ideology that was planted by Thomas Sankara, now reflecting in Commandante Ibrahim Traoré. He's doing something different. That's why the people want him. He is doing something different. The interest of the people first. The interest of the people first. And he's ready to sacrifice his life for the people. And practically we saw it when he came to Ghana. The tendrous applause he got. And all of Africa, everybody is looking up to Commandante Ibrahim Traoré's type of leadership.
Let me interject there. Do they even understand it? They grasp it? How Africans are globally, Africans at home and in abroad are watching on a daily basis what's happening in Burkina Faso. Do they even understand?
Yes. Interestingly, let me tell you something.
Okay.
I had a call from the king of the Numidorial kingdom, the kingdom of the Sid region. They claim that kingdomship. And then they called me and told me that, look, they are all in support of what President Commandante Ibrahim Traoré is doing. They're all in support. It's all about African personality. It's all about the respect for the black man. And so any conscious black man will see that, look, it's better to go along with him because he's proven. It is global.
Yeah.
It is global. And you've seen that all the tricks of imperialism to cut this regime short would never succeed. Because the people are now like a shield covering the regime, the administration of Commandante Ibrahim Traoré. Look, the regime or the administration is a cultural revolution towards the new Africa that we want. It is the nucleus of the Continental Union government.
So you would say that he's not just, most of the time, even when we have those leaderships that we want as a Pan-African, they kind of, they're removed quickly, or they cannot, even if they are in power, they cannot achieve because they are surrounded by this hired neo-colonial power, hired people, our own black people, just to make it, to make sure that leader will not achieve. So do you think he is kind of successful and he's aware of that and he's creating many Traorés so that whatever happens, people can take over?
Absolutely. He's aware.
Okay.
He's aware and he's a thinker. He's a thought leader. Not that kind of thought leaders who go and say it, but he's working and he knows.
Yeah.
He knows what is happening. He knows all the machinations of the neo-colonial forces. He knows. And I am happy those he's working with, when you interact with them, they are all aware. Because this is the last chance.
I want
for
to
the
ask
Burkinabes.
your own
This is the last chance for Africans.
The last chance, yeah, I agree with you. And we
This
cannot.
is a huge consciousness. This is a huge consciousness for Africa to liberate herself, to redeem herself. So Commandante Ibrahim Traoré is the symbol of the new African image.
Yeah, I totally
and we
agree.
must tell the story, all the lies, all the created lies being channeled through the same black man to water down the revolution, the cultural revolution in Burkina Faso. We must all rise up against it. We must all speak against it.
With all the opportunity
we refuse to be slaves again. We refuse to be slaves again. That's why the Black Institute is coming on live. And the universities everywhere, they should begin to teach.
Dr. Anyagre, let me just come in so it will help you to elaborate, to dwell a little bit on that. So speaking of, let me take you back to this Institute of Black People that's going to be now recreated again. That was for those of you who came late here in the chat. If you have any question, by the way, for Dr. Anyagre, he took part in this Pan-African meeting in Burkina Faso, meeting Captain Ibrahim Traoré. So please drop it in the chat section live. He will answer it for you. Now, this Black Institute that was first created by Thomas Sankara, now again recreated by Ibrahim Traoré. What are the things as a Pan-African during your meeting, the takeaways for you? Now, this Pan-African group, first of all, will be part of this recreated Black People Institute. And then if so, what are the main things first to be done for this institute? And also for this group as well. What is your takeaway from this meeting with him?
Like I told you, all of us, we are happy within us that there's going to be a Black Institute in Ouagadougou.
Okay.
And everybody who participated, look, are going to give their best to help the institute to grow, to help the institute to be sustained, and that will also depend on what will be taught in the institute. And the name itself tells it all. The institute is going to study, is going to teach, is going to enlighten African youth, all Africans, about the real Africa that should be, and the problems and challenges that we've had in the past, and how we can address those challenges, and how we can transform the continent, and how poverty, hunger, and diseases can be put aside, and how we can grow our community, and how we can give the youth hope, jobs.
Yeah.
The institute is going to be the heartbeat of the new African nation state. The institute is going to be the vehicle to ensure that we establish the African Continental Union government, the Africa that we want.
All right, and very good things that you have told us. It's something that what we want to hear. Now I ask you, so I'm sure this is a question of also our audience here or our viewers. How can we, for example, me with my little Pan-African platform, media platform here, and any other person who wants to support Burkina Faso, you know, who want to be part of this historical movement, awakening of the African youth, how can we be part of the Institute for Black people?
Yeah, the Black Institute.
As a media?
Yes, you'll be part of it.
All right.
The information will come out. The Thomas Sankara Memorial Center, they are going to be the vehicle to ensure with the government to ensure that the Black Institute is established. And once that is done, everybody will get to know. And many of you, especially in the media, will be there. And you'll be given the needed information to spread it across the continent. And so it is not going to be, and it's going to be for the public. It is going to be for the Africans, those who are ready to see a new Africa. And so there is not going to be something like you will have the means to get yourself involved. You will have the means to contribute your thoughts. You will have the means to visit the institute. You have the means to share what you have.
Wow, very good.
Because the new generation are coming up, and Africa is growing to be the youngest population. And there are challenges, like I told you, unemployment. They go to the university. Look, my dear sister, the universities all over Africa, what are they teaching?
And
do they translate all what they are teaching into tangibles to help transform our communities?
Not really.
Many of them, when they come out, they don't have jobs. So the institute is going to find an answer to how, when you come out from higher learning institutions, the jobs will be available because we have the resources.
Yes.
The institute is going to teach about Sankara, Kwame Nkrumah, Cheikh Anta Diop, Amilcar Cabral, Lumumba, Winnie Mandela, Harriet Tubman, the great leaders. And let me tell you, that is the spirit that is in Burkina Faso now. That is the embodiment reflecting in Commandante Ibrahim Traoré. All those, because until we begin to understand the situation and the challenges and begin to change our minds, begin to think differently, we will never succeed. So the Black Institute is going to be a powerhouse of knowledge, Pan-African knowledge, for us to rediscover ourselves, for us to recapture our past glory, for us to make sure that our continent is a safe place, and that the unborn children, when they are born, when they come and they land here on this planet Earth, especially situated in Africa, they have hope. That is the institute.
It's interesting because what you said with regards to unemployment, and now that we have resources, we have started to use it. I mean, no, I wouldn't say we, it's just Burkina Faso and a couple of the other Sahel states who started it, but it's good. It's not enough. Ghana is also following a step, at least buying, having that contract 20% of the output. We still expect from Ghana to reclaim its resource. That's gold. But anyway, countries are slowly, they are being impacted and learning. If Traoré can do it, if the Sahel states can do it, we can do it kind of spirit. And they know that the people, that's what their own people who gave them the vote wants them to be, not the one we are accustomed with who does the sweet talk and do not deliver. So if not, they know exactly they will be thrown out. So I think for their own sake they will start to do it. But I want to ask you, in terms of education, you said jobs will be available. One of the things is that, what's the problem is, for example, we have like these precious minerals, resources in most of African countries, but we don't teach them in university how to mine. Mining is, for example, being educated in Europe or Germany, where there is no resource, and they know where to send their people later. They don't have the resource, but still they teach their youth how to mine. But as we have the resource, we don't teach them. So how about tackling those kind of things by this Institute for Black people?
The Institute for Black People, my dear sister, let me tell you, is going to be a departure from the neo-colonial system of education. If you teach the Berlin Conference way, you will get the Berlin Conference results. You can go to any of the institutes, the higher learning institutions in Africa, but finally you will have to refine your mind. You have to refine your mind. We have the same knowledge. We have the same brains. But the brain drain. The brain drain. They migrate to Europe. Many of them can do a lot of things. And so the Black Institute is going to be the paradigm shift for the African people. Because once we are able to get our minds clear that we can do things for ourselves.
Indeed, I totally agree there with you. Here we are. I want to show to our audience, that's Dr. Benjamin Anyagre attending that meeting with Captain Ibrahim Traoré and other Pan-Africanists as well. So now let me just, I want to ask this. Now, my question is that, as much as it sounds maybe silly, but I really want to know, maybe others want, we know him from the video and everything, but even for you to get that meeting face to face with other Pan-Africanists as well, how was it like? Of course, also you have been doing the same from afar, from where you are. Now that you meet him, was there anything different that you want to tell us that you observed while meeting him during that meeting? Dr. Benjamin, are you there? It looks like we lost him for a second, but I'm sure he will come back. He's using it from the phone. So let's go back and, so this Pan-Africanist group from the continent, it has South Africa, Ghana, Congo, Ivory Coast, Chad, Niger, Mali, and Europe as well. They have attended the Thomas Sankara Mausoleum and Thomas Sankara and actually his 12 companions. It's not only him that was assassinated, but other 12 companions as well. So we should not forget that. This is really interesting. The person who attended, Dr. Anyagre, told us that they have, I was trying to get him on the phone for him to log in again, that this Institute for Black People was first created by Thomas Sankara, but it didn't come, fruitful because right after 1 year he created it, he was assassinated. And so Dr. Anyagre, here we are. What is your observation? We have like a few minutes, and I have also one last question. What does it look like to meet him in person?
No, to meet Comandante Traoré in person, there are always protocols, and we must understand.
Yeah.
Yes, and we know what is happening already. We know what the enemy wants to do, and we know the enemy is not happy with him. The enemy is not happy with his government. The enemy is not happy. He's not happy because he's awakening the consciousness of Africans, and so he must be protected. Though he's a very free person, he's very simple. I must tell you, very simple, and he mixes with the people. And so to meet him is just like any other protocols that we go through, but not the kind of neo-colonial type of protocol. But this one is a people-centered type of protocol. Thank you.
Thank you for that. And then I have one last question. We have seen people like Dr. Dlamini Zuma, which was really, for me, I was so happy to see that she was part of this delegation, Pan-Africanists. So for those of you who don't know, Dr. Dlamini Zuma she was the chairperson of the chair of the African Union Commission from 2012 till 2016 for one term, and she didn't want to continue a second term. She's a person who resigned by herself and do other commitments. She's from South Africa, and she used to be also the former president Dr. Jacob Zuma's wife, but no, she has served different government office positions. Anyway, my question is that, so this reminds me also this kind of power woman. We have also seen a media person, Yamante, I forgot her name, but she's a French journalist who was awarded there. But my question is on Dr. Dlamini Zuma. To have people like this who served the African Union before. We can also mention Dr. Arikana Chiombori, who used to be the African Union ambassador to Washington. And because of her comments, because she spoke the truth, she was removed from her position, Dr. Arikana. Now to see Dr. Dlamini Zuma. And I can't help it but thinking that people like this, to be in this global Pan-African movement, do you think it will bring change from within in the African Union? Or, how do you see that?
Yeah, the presence of Mama Zuma was also an inspiration. It means that from a former chairperson of the African Union, in fact, the first chairperson of the African Union, under whose leadership the Agenda 2063 was launched.
Exactly.
And we all know very well that the Agenda 2063 is not working because of the leadership of the African Union. And so her presence here was a huge message to the AU itself that, look, you must do things different. You must do things to support Commandant Ibrahim Traoré. You must encourage him because what he's doing is for the generation of Africa. And also, we had Professor Koulibaly, who once contested, he contested, I think he contested President Ouattara on 2 occasions. And so he was there. Some huge personalities, Pan-African heavyweights were around. And the understanding is we must all begin, this is the time to walk the talk. This is the time for action. This is the time to ensure that things happen. They are all fed up. They are all fed up. Mama Zuma is fed up with what is happening in Africa. She's not happy.
Yeah.
That's why she suspended everything, her itinerary, and decided to come over.
Yeah.
And she really thanked El Comandante Traoré. He praised him. And I know it will not be the last time she will come to Ouagadougou, because she will come to also inspire many of the young ladies.
Yeah, indeed.
Who will wish to be like her, who have also a responsibility like mothers to come and support this revolution that is taking care of pregnant women, that is giving food to the ordinary people, that is transforming agriculture, that is assuring the people of shelter, that is talking about how cotton could be used to clothe ourselves proudly, and how the African traditional cultural system, in terms of how we wear, the best ones are enhanced to improve upon our standard of living. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Benjamin Anyagre. But because you mentioned Professor Koulibaly, I think before I let you go, I have to ask this. We all have, we are witnessing how Ivory Coast, under the leadership of Alassane Ouattara, and his predecessor as well, Boni, historically, I have said this and I will say this again, historically, Ivory Coast has proved to be a betrayer and a continued traitor of Burkina Faso. Now, the US not only now having a military base in Ivory Coast, but also to the drone base that they used to have in Niger. Now they are kicked out from Niger. They are opening it in Ivory Coast. Okay, all this is because of the change that's happening in the Sahel states. And as a Pan-African, elders and experienced group, is there anything, because definitely we have seen government to government talk didn't work. So, Ouattara again and again is found to be in bed with neocolonial powers. Is there anything a group like you, this international Pan-African group, can mediate or can somehow talk to Ivory Coast? How are we going to break that? Because it will be, now Burkina Faso and the Sahel states are surrounded by all these AFRICOM, the US military.
Interestingly, like you said, Ivory Coast has always been the neocolonial base of imperialism.
Yeah, sadly.
Ofo Boahin was used to kill Thomas Sankara. Ouattara is being influenced, if I'm not mistaken, to disrupt the cultural revolution in Burkina Faso now. What Africans will have to do now is, like through the Black Institute, raise awareness to identify those against the people of Africa. Speak against them and tell them the truth.
But
And
it's
ensure that, let me tell you something, my sister.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. Mobutu decided to plunder Congo. When Mobutu died, they were looking for a place to bury Mobutu in Africa. They never got a place. The final place they got for Mobutu was in Morocco, Rabat, an European cemetery. Nobody is talking about them. Greed, becoming neo-colonial agents, puppets. What do you want to gain? Meanwhile, your people are suffering. You're a black man. You're a black man who was turned to be a Frenchman. So that's the issue. So they must be exposed. Just like we are talking, we use the media, we expose them. There's nothing secret. If they are doing something that is hurting all of us, we must let them know. The battle is not only against the imperial forces, but the most dangerous enemy. The most dangerous enemy is the one within, being used to sabotage the progress and future of Africa. Thank you, my sister.
Thank you, Dr. Benjamin. Yeah, perhaps we will be able to speak to also, I have seen those Pan-African groups that came also from Ivory Coast. Thank you again. So thanks again for tuning in. Please let us know in the comment section, what do you think of this Pan-African global delegation meeting Captain Ibrahim Traoré in Ouagadougou, and they are going to become part of the Institute for Black People, in which he recreated it, that he took from Thomas Sankara. When I say he took over, because it was, that dream was killed because Thomas Sankara was assassinated and nobody wanted to take it up, because the leaders that came, the governments that came after Sankara were the one who are hired by neo-colonial power. So let us know in the comment section, and if you want us to do further discussion on this, we will continue. Drop us in the chat section through our email. You can find it in the description as well. Share the video with others. This is really informative, very insightful. Dr. Benjamin Anyagre was part of that delegation, please, if you want to also help us, you can donate to our PayPal account and buy me a coffee link. You can find it in the description section, or as well, super thanks, super sticker are also available. It's a ciao. Just a quick shout out on Orion S. Common Man has been here giving the inputs, comments, contending for the phase. Thank you again for your donation. Salisu Mohammed, who else am I missing? And Chimakalu, all of you, thanks. Ciao.